To make the search for life beyond our planets more organized and focused, scientists have created a metric called the Earth Similarity Index. This index measures how similar a planet or moon is to Earth based on things like temperature, atmospheric pressure, and whether or not it can support life. It goes from 0 to 1, where 0.8 and 1 mean that a planet is the same in every way as Earth. In this video, we'll look at recently discovered exoplanets, which are more like Earth than you might think. In recent years, improvements in technology have made it possible to find many exoplanets and moons that are very similar to Earth. One was found in 2019 and given the name T-Garden B. This is a super-Earth that goes around an M-type star every 4.9 days and is 0.252 AU away, about 12.4 light-years away. The T-Garden star is one of the stars closest to our solar system, even though the red dwarf is 10 times smaller than our Sun and has a temperature of only about 2,700 degrees Celsius. It can still provide enough heat for its 2 planets. The 2 extrasolar planets are like the inner planets in our solar system, and they are only a little bit bigger than Earth. Both are in the habitable zone where liquid water can exist, but T-Garden B seems much more likely to be a good place to live. Here's why. T-Garden B has a DSI score of 0.95, which means it is the planet that is most like Earth that has been found so far. There's a 60% chance that the surface temperature of the exoplanet is between 0 and 50 degrees Celsius. And if its atmosphere is like Earth's, the surface temperature would probably be around 28 degrees Celsius. T-Garden C is further away from its star, though. It has an ESI score of 0.68 and only a 3% chance of being warm on the surface. If this world's atmosphere is more like that of Mars, temperatures will probably be around minus 47 degrees Celsius. Researchers don't know what the atmospheres of T-Garden B and C are, but they are locked to their star by tidal forces. And the thin air could spread heat and cold across the line between dark and light. Scientists think that atmospheres that are 1/3 to 17 times more dense than Earth could have liquid water on the surface. But there's more. There's a system of planets that has some of the best chances for finding life outside of Earth, and the most promising one has just been found. At least 4 planets are known to be in the TOI 700 planetary system, and 2 of them are in the habitable zone of their star. The ones with the most promise are TOI 700e and TOI 700d, which are both rocky and about the same size as Earth. TOI 700e goes around the Sun every 28 days and is 95% as big as Earth. TOI 700d goes around the Sun every 37 days and is 105% as big as Earth. The TOI 700 system has been around for more than 1.5 billion years, which is more than enough time for life to take hold and turn the thin area where the surface of the planet meets the atmosphere into a rich biosphere. If TOI 700e and TOI 700d have atmospheres that are much warmer than Earth's average temperature, this could be a big deal in terms of whether or not they could support life. Scientists think there might be more planets beyond TOI 700d. And if we ever find life on one of these worlds, we'd probably hope it's similar to what we have here on Earth. But is it possible, in theory, that similar life forms could exist on other planets? Evolution is thought to be a natural law that applies everywhere, just like gravity. Because of this, the principles of evolution found on Earth can be used on other planets. This is due to a process called evolutionary convergence, in which different species can develop similar adaptations to similar environmental challenges. Life must start out simple on every alien planet, and on many of them, it could have stayed that way. But if some of these worlds do develop complex forms of life, it can only be because good changes were kept and bad ones were thrown out. One example is flight, which has changed several times on Earth by adding wings. In an environment filled with fluid-like water, if you are lighter than the fluid, you can float. If you have wings, you can use aerodynamics and lift to fly. For instance, the wings of bats, birds, and insects all serve the same purpose, but they all have developed separately. Also, if two exoplanets have the same temperature, atmospheric pressure, and access to water, it's possible that life could start on both planets and change in similar ways to adapt to their environments. Also, if the conditions on exoplanets are similar, they could develop biochemistry that is similar to Earth's. For example, carbon is what makes life possible on Earth, and it's possible that carbon-based life could also exist on exoplanets if their conditions are similar to those on Earth. So, if there is life on T-Garden B, T-Garden C, or TOI 700e, it is likely to be carbon-based and, at least in some ways, similar to life on Earth. But there's a chance that life in the universe could look very different from what we know and understand. And it's important to keep an open mind, because we might find life that's different from what we've seen before. Even here on Earth, there are organisms called extremophiles that can live and grow in very harsh conditions that would kill most other forms of life. These kinds of life can be used as examples or models for strange life that might exist on other planets far away. So far, most of the search for alien life has been done on planets that are like Earth. But what if we changed our minds and looked for something else? A kind of life we don't understand. Maybe a planet with strange life forms and a unique and varied set of planet features that makes it different from other more typical planets. Extremophiles may need these things to stay alive, such as high levels of radiation, high atmospheric pressure, or extreme temperatures. Astronomers just a few years ago found a new type of alien planet called a high CN planet. These planets are not like Earth at all, but they might be able to support life. The high CN planets have hot oceans and hydrogen-rich atmospheres. This means that they have a larger habitable zone than Earth. Scientists think that this new information could make it possible to find signs of life outside of our solar system in the next few years. Ocean planets can be up to 2.6 times bigger than Earth, and their atmospheres can get as hot as 200 degrees Celsius. However, the oceans could support microorganisms like those in Earth's oceans. The pressure on the surface of such a planet will be like the pressure at the bottom of the ocean here on Earth, where life can still be found. This means that life might be able to thrive in a world with a heavy atmosphere and a high CN. What's interesting is that the biomarkers are easier to find in the atmospheres of these planets than in the atmospheres of rocky exoplanets. This is because these planets are bigger and hotter. A big part of the known population of exoplanets, which is getting close to 5,300, is made up of planets that meet the criteria to be called high CN. One of these strange worlds is K2-18b, which was found in 2015. K2-18b is 124 light-years away from us in the constellation Leo. It is one of hundreds of planets found by NASA's Kepler spacecraft. It's like a small Neptune that goes around a dim red dwarf. Researchers think that planets like K2-18b might be able to support life in some cases because they might have molecules like methyl chloride and dimethyl sulfide. Similar life forms on a planet with a high CN would probably be based on biochemistry that uses hydrogen. As hydrogen is the most important part of the environment on such a planet, this would mean that the structure of life there would be very different from that of life based on carbon. They could be something we don't know anything about and look and be built differently than anything we've seen before. There's even a chance we wouldn't be able to tell hydrogen biochemistry-based life from real life. Soon, astronomers will be able to use spectroscopic observations to learn more about planets with high CN. They want to study a number of high CN planets that are close to us, between 35 and 150 light-years away, and the James Webb Space Telescope is already able to look at their atmospheres. It looks like we're about to find a bunch of things that will blow our minds. But let's expand our viewpoint even further. how can we tell that Earth is the best place for life to exist? It's clear that it keeps us alive, but we've had plenty of time to get used to our surroundings. What if there's a planet somewhere else in the universe where the conditions for life are even better? Scientists have already looked into this idea, which is called super-habitable worlds. Super-habitable worlds would be a little bit older, a little bit bigger, a little bit warmer, and maybe even a little bit more humid than Earth. Also, they would go around stars that are older and live longer than our Sun. Our star is expected to last about 10 billion years, and it took about 4 billion years for complex life to appear on Earth. Some stars, though, can live longer than that, giving life more time to change. So how do we get to these places? One idea is to look for planets around K-stars or orange red dwarfs. K-stars and orange red dwarfs are cooler and less bright than Sun-like stars, but they can last for 20 to 70 billion years. Life on an orbiting planet-like star would have more time to change and adapt than on Earth. A planet should be between 5 and 8 billion years old, but no older, as it would eventually lose its geothermal heat and magnetic fields that keep it safe. The size of a planet would be another thing to say about it. If a super-habitable world is about 10% bigger than Earth, it will have more land areas that could support life. If it is 1.5 times as big as Earth, it will have a longer-lasting heat source from radioactive decay inside and stronger gravity to keep its atmosphere. And since there are more kinds of life in warmer and wetter places, like Earth's tropical rainforests, a super-habitable planet would also need to have a mean surface temperature about 5 degrees Celsius warmer than Earth. It looks like scientists have found a way to make a perfect planet. But is this kind of world even possible? About 24 possible exoplanets have already been found by researchers. In the near future, one of our telescopes could find a planet that would be good for humans. People are still looking for alien life on a perfect new home for humans. We might never find out what's out there, but it's fun to think about what could happen. What sort of world would you want to live in? Leave a comment below and tell us.